Why December 25th? Why does the world celebrate the birth of Jesus on this date? Is it biblical, or does it have roots in something older, something hidden? Welcome back to the Untold Bible, where we explore the hidden truths and myths behind the stories you thought you knew. Today we're diving deep into one of the most celebrated dates in the world, December 25th. Is it really the day Jesus was born? And if not, why was it chosen? The answer involves shepherds, Roman gods, political strategy, and even astronomy. Let's get into it. Let's start with the obvious. The Bible doesn't tell us when Jesus was born. There's no date, no month, not even a specific season mentioned. This leaves room for speculation, and throughout history, many have tried to piece together the clues. One such clue comes from Luke 2:8, which mentions that shepherds were living out in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. This detail may seem minor, but it's significant when viewed through the lens of historical practices. In ancient Judea, shepherds typically didn't stay out in the fields during the cold winter months. The harsh weather made it impractical to graze their flocks. Instead, they would bring the sheep into shelters. This makes a winter birth for Jesus unlikely. Spring or fall, when the weather was milder, would have been a much more suitable time for shepherds to be out in the fields at night. But why don't we know for sure? Why didn't early Christians preserve Jesus' exact birth date? The answer lies in the early church's priorities. For the first few centuries of Christianity, the focus wasn't on Jesus' birth. Instead, it was his death and resurrection that took center stage. These events were considered the foundation of the Christian faith, believed to bring salvation and eternal life. As a result, the celebration of Jesus' birth wasn't a priority. In fact, it wasn't until the 4th century, when Christianity became more established in the Roman Empire, that Jesus' birth began to be commemorated with the celebration of Christmas. And even then, the chosen date of December 25th wasn't based on historical evidence. Instead, it aligned with existing pagan festivals like the Roman celebration of Saturnalia and the birthday of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. These festivals marked the winter solstice, symbolizing the triumph of light over darkness, an apt metaphor for the coming of Christ, according to early Christian leaders. So, while the Bible is silent on the specifics of Jesus' birth date, the historical and cultural context gives us some fascinating possibilities to consider. Could he have been born in the spring, amidst the new life of the season, or in the fall during the harvest, symbolizing the gathering of his followers? The mystery remains, but it's one that invites us to explore both history and tradition in a deeper way. To truly understand why December 25th became the chosen date for Christmas, we need to explore the cultural and religious traditions of the Roman Empire long before Christianity became dominant. This period was rich with celebrations, many of which revolved around the changing seasons and the cycles of nature. One of the most notable festivals during this time was Saturnalia, held from December 17th to December 23rd. This week-long event honored Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture and wealth, symbolizing the end of the harvest season and the hope for future abundance. Saturnalia was a time of exuberant celebrations. Public banquets, private feasts, and lively parties were the norm. Gift-giving, a tradition many associate with modern Christmas, was a significant part of the festivities. But the most striking feature of Saturnalia was the temporary reversal of social roles. Slaves were often served by their masters and treated as equals, at least symbolically, creating a rare moment of societal equality. This theme of turning norms upside down contributed to the joyous, carefree atmosphere of the festival. Another key celebration was the Feast of Sol Invictus, or the unconquered sun, held on December 25th. This holiday marked a pivotal astronomical moment, the return of longer days after the winter solstice. The Romans saw the sun's increasing strength as a metaphor for victory over darkness, a powerful and hopeful message during the bleak winter months. Sol Invictus was associated with light, renewal, and invincibility, making it a central element of Roman spiritual life. As Christianity began to spread, its leaders faced a daunting challenge: converting a population deeply attached to their traditional festivals and practices. Rather than outlawing these popular celebrations, early Christians may have opted for a different strategy, adapting and rebranding them. By the 4th century, Christianity had gained significant influence, thanks in part to Emperor Constantine, who declared it the official religion of the Roman Empire. During this time, December 25th was chosen to commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ. Some historians argue this date was strategically aligned with the already established feast of Sol Invictus. By doing so, the church could ease the transition for converts, blending familiar pagan customs with Christian teachings. This synthesis likely made Christianity more appealing to the Roman populace, allowing them to retain the celebratory spirit of Saturnalia and Sol Invictus while embracing a new faith. Over time, these ancient traditions were absorbed and transformed, leaving their mark on how Christmas is celebrated even today. So, when we think about December 25th as Christmas, it's not just a story of religious significance. It's a tale of cultural adaptation, political strategy, and the enduring human need to celebrate light and hope during the darkest days of the year. Beyond the political motivations and historical context of choosing December 25th as the date for celebrating Jesus' birth, there is a rich layer of symbolism that resonates deeply with human experience. The interplay between light and darkness has long been a powerful metaphor across cultures and religions, and early Christianity was no exception. In the New Testament, Jesus is referred to as the light of the world, a title rich with meaning. This imagery of Jesus as a source of light symbolized his role as a beacon of hope, salvation, and spiritual enlightenment in a world often described as shadowed by sin and suffering. For early Christians, the metaphor wasn't just poetic, it was transformative, representing the triumph of good over evil, truth over ignorance, and life over death. This idea of light overcoming darkness took on even greater significance when placed in the context of the winter solstice. Occurring around December 21st, the solstice marks the shortest day and longest night of the year. For ancient people, this was a time of uncertainty and reflection, but also hope, as the days that followed signaled the gradual return of longer periods of daylight. By choosing December 25th, a date just after the solstice, Christians imbued their celebration of Jesus' birth with this natural cosmic symbolism, the return of light into the world, just as they believed Jesus brought spiritual light to humanity. Interestingly, the solstice held sacred significance for many cultures long before Christianity. Ancient pagan traditions celebrated this turning point in the year as a symbol of renewal, fertility, and the eternal cycles of life. Festivals like Yule among the Germanic peoples and Sol Invictus, the Roman festival honoring the unconquered sun, were both centered on the idea of light triumphing over darkness. These traditions involved rituals such as lighting fires, candles, and Yule logs, acts meant to invoke warmth and the promise of brighter days ahead. The adoption of December 25th for the celebration of Christmas allowed early Christians to align their beliefs with these pre-existing cultural themes, making the message of Jesus' birth more accessible and relatable. For believers, it was not merely about appropriating a date, but infusing it with a new profound spiritual meaning. The light of the world was now not just the sun, but also the sun, whose coming promised to illuminate even the darkest corners of human existence. The choice of December 25th as the date to celebrate Jesus' birth wasn't universally accepted among early Christians. In fact, there was significant debate over the matter. Some Christians believed that Jesus was born on January 6th. This date remains important in Christian tradition and is celebrated as Epiphany or Three Kings Day in several cultures, commemorating the visit of the Magi and, in some cases, Jesus' baptism. Others proposed dates in March, basing their calculations on the Annunciation, when the angel Gabriel announced to Mary that she would conceive Jesus. Early theologians reasoned that Jesus' conception might have taken place on March 25th, aligning his birth 9 months later with December 25th. Ultimately, December 25th was chosen, but not due to any definitive evidence about the actual date of Jesus' birth. Instead, the decision served a broader purpose, unifying Christian practices with existing Roman traditions. The Roman festival of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, which celebrated the winter solstice, occurred around the same time. By aligning Christmas with this popular pagan celebration, early Christian leaders hoped to ease the transition for converts from paganism to Christianity. December 25th became the officially recognized date for Christmas in 336 AD, during the reign of Emperor Constantine. the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. Constantine's support for Christianity played a crucial role in shaping its traditions and practices. Later, in the mid-4th century, Pope Julius I reinforced this decision, cementing December 25th as the date for Christmas across much of Christendom. This blend of theological reasoning and strategic adaptation highlights the dynamic interplay between faith, culture, and politics in the early development of Christian traditions. Fast forward to today, and December 25th has become a global celebration, often filled with joy, family gatherings, and festive cheer. However, many of the beloved traditions we associate with Christmas have origins that predate Christianity. These customs have been borrowed, adapted, and blended over centuries, creating the holiday we know today. Take decorating evergreen trees, for example. This practice can be traced back to ancient Germanic Yule customs. During the winter solstice, evergreens symbolize life and resilience, staying green even in the harshest winters. Pagans would bring branches into their homes or decorate outdoor trees as part of their rituals. When Christianity spread, this practice was absorbed into Christmas celebrations, eventually evolving into the beautifully adorned Christmas trees we cherish today. What about gift giving? This tradition has roots in Saturnalia, a Roman festival honoring Saturn, the god of wealth and abundance. During Saturnalia, Romans exchanged small gifts as tokens of good fortune and generosity. Over time, this practice merged with the story of the Magi bringing gifts to the Christ child and the legend of Saint Nicholas, giving rise to the modern custom of exchanging presents. Even caroling, a cherished Christmas activity, has pagan origins. In ancient times, people would sing winter songs during the solstice celebrations to honor the change of seasons and bring good luck. These early carols were adapted by Christians to spread messages of faith, evolving into the Christmas carols we sing today. It's fascinating to see how these traditions, once deeply rooted in pagan celebrations, have been reimagined and reinterpreted over time. They're a testament to how cultures and religions have intertwined, creating a rich and diverse tapestry of customs that continue to bring people together every December. This blending of traditions is a beautiful reminder of our shared history and the enduring human spirit to celebrate, connect, and find joy in the darkest of winters. So, is December 25th really Jesus' birthday? Almost certainly not. But does it matter? Maybe, maybe not. For some, it's a deeply spiritual celebration of Christ's birth. For others, it's a time of community, joy, and light during the darkest time of year. What's clear is that December 25th carries layers of history, meaning, and tradition that go far beyond the Bible. What do you think? Should the origins of December 25th change how we celebrate? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to explore more untold stories with us.